What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and I was actually getting ready to kind of crap all over the Demaryius Thomas trade. Demaryius Thomas got traded to the Houston Texans. I think it was like for a 4th-round pick, and they swapped it. And I basically said Demaryius Thomas is washed, and while understanding the injuries for the Houston Texans, it makes sense that they make that deal. I just made the prediction that for me, if I'm a Texan fan, I'm more excited for Keke Coutee to get healthy. I think Coutee has a better stat line. And then, out of nowhere, the Philadelphia Eagles have acquired wide receiver Golden Tate from the Detroit Lions. My girlfriend's ecstatic because Golden Tate's like her favorite player that's not on the Eagles. When I look at it, man, I am pretty damn confused, to be honest with you. Am I upset about the move? No, I haven't seen the compensation yet. It's for a 3rd-round pick. Detroit is trading Golden Tate for the Philadelphia Eagles for a 3rd-round pick. 3rd round for a guy that's a 1-year rental. I don't see really. That's the thing. Is Golden Tate going to be a long-term option here in Philadelphia? His age, what's his age? He's 30, 29, 30, somewhere in that range. Literally all this information. I'm doing this. This is literally no clickbait, as live of a reaction as you can get, because I was not planning on doing this one. But let's look at Golden Tate's contract here real quick. He signed a 5-year, $31 million deal with the Detroit Lions. I know he's set to be a free agent, so understanding where the market value is will be key. But is it a 1-year deal? I don't think Philadelphia was going to make a move for any player if it was going to be a 1-year deal. I don't know if they feel like the market next year for Golden Tate is going to be affordable. But with, Nelson Agholor set to be an impending free agent as well next year, I'm not so sure I understand the ins and outs of this deal, but yeah, man, I think that when you look at Golden Tate, you need to understand that probably helps out our wide receiver core more than it doesn't. We're going to probably put him on the outside, to be honest with you. He played on the outside with Seattle Seahawks. And then since he moved to the slot, he's been one of the best slot wide receivers in the league, has excellent hands, which is good. And even though Nelson Agholor has turned around his career from a hand standpoint, from being able to catch the ball and not have bricks, Golden Tate probably has one of the better catch rates in the National Football League. And, where he stands as, what's his contract this year? He had a $9 million cap hit. I don't know what Philadelphia is going to eat of that deal. But like I said, man, he is 30. He is going on to be a free agent. I'm just going to be very, very surprised to see Philadelphia give up a 3rd-round pick and not retain Golden Tate. Very similar to what they were trying to do with Alshon Jeffrey, and then they just had to wait till free agency, obviously. So I would imagine this is going to be a 3rd-round pick that will turn into a long-term deal based upon how Golden Tate plays for the Philadelphia Eagles down the stretch. But my biggest thing where I've kind of, said this trade's not going to happen is because ultimately Golden Tate, while I think he can play outside, he's probably had his best success as a slot wide receiver. And you look at the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver core, Nelson Agholor clearly is a slot wide receiver. Now, if you watch the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was an ugly game, and if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, probably don't want to go back and watch that one. But, Nelson Agholor played on the outside in that game. He had an insane catch, probably the best touchdown catch of the season when Nick Foles threw him a ball, and when they're trying to make that late stage comeback against the Bucs. He was an outside wide receiver there. But do they view him as an outside wide receiver? I haven't seen that. When Alshon Jeffrey was out, I didn't see Nelson Agholor make that step up on the outside. It was more so Zach Ertz was feasting. Zach Ertz was moving the chains. Zach Ertz was proving why, so far this season, he is the number 1 tight end in the league. And I always feel like when I say that, yes, Gronk is the best tight end in the league, but this season, it has been one Zachary Ertz. But, I'm excited, man. I just felt like Philadelphia had to make a move for something. And while my number 1 pick, the dream pick, was Patrick Peterson, I just feel like it would have cost too much. It would have cost too much to bring in Patrick Peterson, and not necessarily what Philly would have had to give up to get him, but what we'd probably have to lose to make Patrick Peterson's contract work. The combination of the two probably was too much. Next up was Jordan Howard. I felt like, maybe if you tempted the Bears, who were rumored trying to ship Jordan Howard last offseason, you might be able to get them to move on from it. It wasn't a move that the Detroit or the Chicago Bears needed to make. If I was the Bears, I don't necessarily know if I would even move on from Jordan Howard. But I'm just saying I would have tried that avenue first. I would have exhausted that option. But then when we're looking at the market for wide receivers, I still think Deshaun Jackson might have been a better fit. Because just what is our wide receiver core lacking? You would assume that Nelson Aguilar can handle that slot position spot. You have Alshon Jeffrey as the outside jump ball. We just don't have that elite speed. And while Matt Collins might be set to return off IR, he could be that guy. We don't know if and when he's going to be able to come back. Maybe this move for Golden Tate speaks volumes to the fact that Matt Collins will be coming back and he can be that guy that can get some separation downfield. But trying to make sense of this, it's tough right now. It's kind of tough. To process all this information, knowing that who's going to be the outside guy. That's pretty much the big question. Is it going to be Golden Tate, who's done it before in his career, maybe not as high of a level as he has been as a slot wide receiver, or is it going to be Nelson Aguilar? Are they just going to say, now that we have this luxury that Nelson doesn't have to play across the middle of the field, we can actually use his speed? Because I would say Nelson's probably faster than Golden Tate, and by probably I mean almost definitely. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe the plan is for Golden Tate to be a slot guy and to have Nelson Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey on the outside, and then wait and hope that Matt Collins can come back. I don't think they're kind of rumoring that maybe Mike Wallace could come back off IR. I mean, he broke his leg. I feel like that would be wishful thinking. Maybe we could get Mike Wallace back real late in the season, and until then, I don't know. I don't know about that. So Golden Tate is now a Philadelphia Eagle, man. That is big news. I think the best thing, my closing statement on this issue is, oh, it's a 3rd round pick. I thought I said 4th. Did I say third round pick? The hardest thing to decipher right now is, one, is it a 1-year rental? If it's a 1-year rental, Golden Tate that's kind of expensive for me. Understanding that Philly has a 1st and 2 seconds, still a 3rd round pick for a 1-year rental at a position that, if he plays slot, is slot where we need it, that upgrade? I don't know. But I just don't think that's a Philadelphia move to get a 1-year rental on a guy. So, we got to wait and see, man. We got to wait and see. And ultimately just be happy. Be happy that we made a move. Be happy that we traded a 3rd round pick for Golden Tate, whereas the Dallas Cowboys gave a 1st up for Amari Cooper. Different ceilings, different age range, but in terms of production, it's night and day. It's really night and day trying to compare those two moves. So, Eagle fans, I want your guys' opinion on this Golden Tate trade. Are you happy for it? Are you confused? Are you unhappy that we gave up a 3rd for potentially a 1-year rental? Or are you ecstatic that we actually have a playmaker at wide receiver that might be able to, now that I'm trying to think about, the more and more I think about this, trying to process this very, very quickly, is maybe Golden Tate could be one of those guys that you get a 2-fer. Because maybe that would, maybe Nelson Aguilar playing on the outside is what we need. And maybe by having Golden Tate, be an upgrade over Nelson Aguilar at that slot spot, we can get an upgrade on the second outside wide receiver spot, saying having Nelson Aguilar out there than Jordan Matthews, who through all last 2 weeks or so, actually Jordan Matthews hasn't been that bad, but I mean, it's just more weapons. It's more weapons for Carson Wentz. We're helping out our quarterback. There was a rumor that I also saw that Philadelphia has been interested in Kalicio Semele, the guard from the Raiders. Again, don't know where all that cap space is coming from, but I kind of feel like with this one move, maybe the floodgates are opening, and this won't be the last time you've heard me talk today. I will say also, just because literally this is shocking, I released a video talking about my top 5 tight ends in the upcoming draft. Go check that out. And tonight on my Twitch at probably 8 p.m. Eastern, maybe 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be debuting the Pink Slip series. So make sure you guys can tune into that if you can. And until next time, man, it's C4 saying fly, Eagles fly.